Live from the Loomis TV studio at Baldwin Wallace University, this is Radio on the Lake Theater Presents, a weekly radio play series spotlighting local playwrights and the best of the golden age of drama of the 1940s and 50s. I'm your host and director of tonight's play, Gioianna DiGiorgio. For tonight's play, I have chosen The Man Who Slipped Through Time by Calvin James Zanetti. I chose this play because it is an intriguing take on the age-old idea of time travel, and a captivating tale of a man out of his place in time. This series is made possible by a grant from the Cuyahoga Arts and Culture. Here is The Man Who Slipped Through Time. Time travel. Very few ideas have captured our imagination more. The fragile line between the unbelievable and the undeniable. Even if you're convinced it is nothing more than fantasy, you may want to stay with us. Because tonight, we're diving into an urban legend that hails from the internet. One whose validity is debated among message boards and dissected in late-night podcasts. Many documentaries have followed it. Video essays have analyzed it, and debunkers have tried and failed to fully explain it. And yet, the central mystery persists, as stubborn and steady as the man at the center of it. Tonight, for the first time, we have compiled the facts, evidence, and knowledge to bring you the most comprehensive radio dramatization of a tale that has baffled skeptics, energized believers, and refused to fade away for nearly 2 decades. A story many consider the closest thing we have to real, tangible evidence. This is the story of Sergei Ponamorenko, the time traveler, or the man who slipped through time. It is April 23rd, 2006, in the city of Kiev, Ukraine. A cool, gray Sunday in late spring. On this morning, the city wakes as it always does, with trams rattling along their rails, traffic clogging up the busy streets, and with people going about their day, never expecting anything out of the ordinary. But in a quiet neighborhood, just beyond Independence Square, a police officer was called in after receiving reports about a stranger walking worriedly through the streets. He's about to meet a man who will challenge every assumption he holds about the world, and about time itself.
Sir? Hey, sir. You all right? Do you need help?
A young man stands in the street, mid-20s, trembling, his eyes darting from the cars to the high-rises with a look of wonder and astonishment in his eyes, as though he's seeing them for the very first time. His clothes, pressed slacks, a worn jacket, polished shoes, and a cabbie hat seem borrowed from a photograph taken half a century ago, and around his neck, an antique film camera, dangling like a relic of an era long past.
Hey, sir. Hey, I need you to look at me. Do you know where you are?
I'm not sure. The buildings look familiar. Is this Kiev?
Yes, this is Kiev.
Kiev. Yes, of course, Kiev, but the buildings... What year is it? Please, tell me the year.
What? It's 2006. Why?
No, that can't be right. Just minutes ago, I was just... What happened? What happened to the city?
All right. There's no cause for alarm, son. Do you have any identification on you?
Yes, of course. Here.
The officer unfolded a small, well-worn document, but upon checking the documentation, he was surprised to find that it had been issued from a place that didn't exist anymore.
A Soviet Union internal passport. This hasn't been issued for 15 years. Sir, where did you get this?
It's mine. You think I forged it? Check the date of issue. Look.
Oh, yeah, this says 1952.
Please, just tell me how this is possible. How did I get here? What happened to the world?
Okay, listen. You're not in trouble, but you need to come with me, all right? We'll take you somewhere safe. Someone can talk to you and figure all this out.
Safe? Safe from what?
Come on, son. We'll get you checked out. You're gonna be fine.
Sergei was transported to the Municipal Psychiatric Hospital on the east side of the city. A squat gray building left over from the Soviet era. There, he was placed under the care of Dr. Pavlo Kutrikov, a respected psychiatrist known for her strange, calm demeanor. Before the interview could begin, Officer Onopenko briefed the doctor in a small consultation room just outside the observation ward.
Dr. Kutrikov, thanks for seeing us on such short notice.
Of course. You said you brought in a confused young male?
Yeah, that's the thing. He looks young, but he's carrying this.
A Soviet internal passport. These haven't existed for, well, quite a long time. The ink is crisp. The seal is unbroken. Unusual.
Look, I've seen drunks. I've seen addicts. But I've never seen anything like this.
It is possible for people in Kiev to still carry their Soviet IDs. But see it as the country was disbanded 15 years ago? You'd have to be in your later years to carry this.
And that's just it. Look at the photo on the card. That is unmistakably the face of the man who was standing before me.
Did he carry anything else on his person?
You dabble in photography, right? There is the camera he was carrying.
Oh, may I?
Be my guest. He had it around his neck when we found him.
This is a Yashima flex. Haven't seen one of these in decades. Where did he say he got it?
He said it was his.
Yes, well, the problem is this model uses 6x6 medium format roll film. Production stopped in the 70s.
So it's an antique?
More than that, it's a rare collectible. And yet this one shows signs of recent use. No dust in the lens housing, no corrosion. Someone's been taking care of it, or it's like new.
So do you think you could speak with him?
Intriguing, very intriguing. All right, I'll speak with him. See what we're dealing with.
Good, because honestly, Doc, the whole thing feels off.
Then let's find out why. How do you feel? Are you worried? If you don't want to speak with me and you don't answer anything, it would be difficult to help you.
I am not sure. I am bewildered. I need your help.
Tell me what's on your mind.
What day is today?
April 23rd, 2006.
2006, but the last thing I remember is that it was Wednesday, April 23rd, 1958.
Paints a strange picture. Does it mean you are in the future?
I do not know what to think.
How about you tell me something about yourself?
My name is Sergei Ponamorenko. I was born in the city of Kiev on June 16th, 1932.
1932, eh? But from looking at you, I bet you're no more than 30 years old.
I am 25 years old.
Okay, fascinating. Now, can you remember how you came to appear in our time?
Well, it was daytime, and I wanted to take a walk with my fiancée around the city. I took my camera and started taking photos of the usual places we'd like to go to clear our heads. But when I left my house, I saw a strange object in the sky. It had a strange bell shape, and it flew in a very strange way. It is difficult to explain what I was seeing.
What's the last thing you remember then?
The last thing I remember was taking a picture of the object. The flash of my camera seemed to make it stop in the air. It hovered unnaturally, in a way that nothing I could describe on Earth could, like it was thinking, like it saw me.
Then what?
I saw a bright light for the briefest moment, a flash coming from the strange object. The next thing I knew, I looked down at my camera, and when I looked back up, I was right where I was, only the trees were taller, there were roads I'd never seen before, and cars driving by that looked foreign to me, and yet I'm still in Kiev.
This must have been the moment you came to our time, as you claim. Sergei, You understand that your story is extraordinary. But there are reasonable explanations for everything you've shown us so far. Your passport, for instance, could be replicated. Your clothing could be bought from any antique shop in this city. Even your manner of speech. Actors rehearse stranger things.
Doctor, I am not an actor.
Perhaps not. But extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. You say you're from 1958. Is there any way at all, that you can demonstrate this beyond your memory?
I do not know what you want from me.
Evidence, Sergei. Something verifiable. Something we can hold in our hands. Something that doesn't require our blind trust in your word. Do you have anything that could help us prove your story?
My camera. Maybe it's best to develop the photos from my camera, and then maybe you'll find the answer you're looking for.
Your camera? It's a fascinating device you have, but you realize even that could be staged.
Then develop it and tell me that. If the photographs show nothing, then I am crazy. If they show what I remember, then I am lost in a world that's not my own.
And what exactly do you expect us to find?
The sky, the streets, my city as it was, and the object, the bell-shaped craft, frozen in the air, looking back at me.
You think a photograph will prove time travel?
No, but it will prove I am not lying.
Very well. I'll have the police retrieve it. But understand, Sergei, whatever those photos reveal, your life is going to change.
Doctor, it already has.
Dr. Kutrikov made the call that same afternoon. The film inside the camera was incompatible with every modern machine they had access to. So she had to bring in a specialist. Someone who genuinely understood the chemistry of old photography, not just the digital mechanics of the modern day. Just later that night, she received a voicemail.
Good evening, Dr. Kutrikov. I wanted to call to let you know I developed all the photographs you and the police department asked for. I'm not sure what to say. This film, it's old. Very old. The type hasn't been manufactured since the early 70s, but somehow it's in perfect condition. Images. Good God, the images developed perfectly.
He sent the photographs in an envelope the next morning. What Kutrikov found in the rolls were photos of Kiev, and sure enough, all from the 1950s. All the cars, all the clothes on the passers-by, all the street signs. There were even photos of buildings that no longer existed. And right there, in front of those buildings, was Sergei, wearing the same clothes he'd worn in his office the day before, staring into the lens with a warm smile on his face, but the same unreadable expression in his eyes. Next to him, a young woman, smiling shyly at the camera. It seemed like a lovely stroll between a young couple, until Kutrikov had gotten to the photograph with the object. It was exactly as Sergei had described it, bell-shaped, hanging in the air above the trees.
Impossible.
And yet, there it was.
Doctor, do you think I'm crazy?
The truth is, I don't consider you crazy. But I need to work out a few details, and I'm going to need your help.
I want to go back home, you understand? Back to my time. Back to my fiancée, my Valentina. She must think I disappeared. She must think I left her. Doctor, she might be an old woman now.
Here are the developed photos. They're from your camera. I'm particularly interested in this photograph. Please take a look.
She slid the final picture towards him, the one with the impossible object frozen in the sky. Sergei's fingers trembled as he took it from her hands. For a moment, he simply stared. Kutrikov could see relief wash over his face, like a man surfacing for air after nearly drowning. His shoulders loosened, his eyes brightened with something almost triumphant. A soft laugh escaped him, small at first, then growing warmer, almost boyish.
Now you're convinced I'm telling the truth. But, Doctor, I still do not understand what this object is, this machine or creature. Whatever it is, I don't know how something like that appeared in front of me, and how at the same time I took this picture, I looked through the lens, looked down again, and somehow ended up in this year. One moment I was in my city, my Kiev. The next, everything I knew was gone.
By the time Dr. Kutrikov wrapped the session, the sun had dipped behind the buildings of Kiev. Sergei seemed calmer, almost relieved, clutching the photographs as though they were the only proof he still belonged to the world he remembered. Kutrikov escorted him back to his room in the clinic, promising they would continue in the morning, but they never did.
It is April 24th, early in the morning. After yesterday's session, I find myself facing something I am struggling to reconcile with reason. If Sergei's account is to be believed, and these photographs increasingly suggest that it must, then we may not be dealing with a delusion or a hoax or even a psychological break. No. We may be dealing with physics. Real physics. If the object he photographed was, in fact, some kind of extraterrestrial craft, then it's possible it propelled him across an astronomical distance at or near the speed of light. And if that is the case, relativity tells us something extraordinary. Einstein predicted that the faster one travels, the slower time passes for them relative to those left behind. He called this time dilation. If Sergei was brought forward in an instant, a split second from his point of view as he claimed, then that would mean decades could have passed here on Earth, 47 years, give or take. It would mean he arrived in our time by accident or design. If this is true, it would recontextualize everything we understand about space, about time, about the human experience. With proper study, Sergei could help us illuminate phenomena we've only theorized about. It is fascinating. This could change the entire field of...
Doctor! Doctor, you need to come with me.
What is it? What's happened?
It's Sergei. He's gone.
Gone? What do you mean gone? He's in his room.
No, Doctor, he isn't. This just keeps getting weirder. We checked the cameras, all of them. He never came out of his room.
That's impossible. I just left him there last night.
I know. But he didn't leave. The footage shows him walking in, and that's it. The room is empty now.
What about the windows?
All the windows in the facility are barred. And the ones in his room are completely untouched. The door was locked from the outside, just as protocol states. There is no way he got out.
That can't be. Show me the footage.
Doctor, we've been watching it for the last hour. Sergei Ponamorenko has vanished.
Run his name again. Full Soviet archive poll.
Already did. And you are not going to believe this. There was a Sergei Ponamorenko, born June 16th, 1932. It all matches our guy exactly.
So what's the catch?
He disappeared. Officially declared missing on October 13th, 1960.
1960?
Yep. 2 years after he claims to have vanished. And, what about this? It says in your report that he mentioned a fiancée.
Yes, he mentioned a girl by the name of Valentina.
Well, lucky for us, there was someone else attached to his file. Valentina Chrish, seen here. Listed once on a registration form as bride-to-be, but nothing after that.
There doesn't seem to be a date of death.
She'd be what now? 70, 80?
If she's still alive, she'd be about 74.
Well, let's hope she's home.
Yes? Can I help you?
Good afternoon. Are you Valentina Chrish?
Yes, that's me. Who is asking?
We're with the Holosisky Police Department. Ma'am, this may be a strange question, but do you know a man named Sergei Ponamorenko?
Sergei. Please, come in. You'll have to forgive the mess. I wasn't expecting company today.
Ma'am, we're sorry to trouble you. I'm Officer Onopenko, and this is Dr. Pavlo Kutrikov. We're here because a man by that name was reported missing a few decades ago. We believe he may have come in contact with you in the past, and We're trying to figure out what happened to him.
I see. Yes, Sergei was my fiancé.
Would you mind telling us what happened to him? Anything you remember could help.
Well, Sergei had disappeared. Today is the day he returned to me after he had disappeared.
Do you remember how long he was missing for?
A few days. No more than 2.
That's the same amount of time he has been here in the present day. Do you know what happened to him?
We went for a walk through the city together, taking photos for our scrapbooks. He then went into the woods to take some photos of the river and simply never returned. I thought that something terrible had happened. And then, just as suddenly, he came back.
He returned.
Oh yes, calm as ever, like nothing had happened. There was something different in his eyes. He told me he had seen the future.
What exactly did he tell you?
You must understand, I didn't believe him at first. He always had such an active imagination. But he said he'd seen a world where people carried tiny telephones in their pockets, a world with tall glass buildings, a world where machines did everything. And I laughed. I told him he was being ridiculous.
And now?
Now? I'm an old woman. And I've watched this world go stranger, year after year. And I've seen every one of his predictions come true.
And what happened after he came back?
We planned to marry. We thought the worst was behind us. But then he vanished again. 1960 was the last time I ever saw him.
The same way.
Yes. One morning he kissed me goodbye, told me he'd be home for dinner, and then he was gone.
I'm very sorry, ma'am.
I waited for him. I waited for years. But the world doesn't stop for a broken heart.
Valentina, if what Sergei said is true, the places he traveled, the times he may have seen, it's possible his last journey wasn't something he could return from. A one-way ticket.
Oh yes, I've come to believe that myself. I no longer expect to see him again. But I am glad you came to ask. It's comforting, in a strange way, to know someone else remembers him, even now. If Sergei truly traveled elsewhere, then perhaps he's exactly where he was meant to be.
We'll do everything we can to understand what happened.
Doctor, before you go, there's something else.
Yes?
Sergei once told me about a woman who reminds me very much of you. He said I would meet her someday. At the time, I thought it was just another one of his stories. But a few days ago, I received something in the mail. Something addressed to me. And to you.
To me? But how would he...
I think you should see it. He said I'd know when the time was right. And I believe that time is now.
Dear Dr. Kutrikov, if you are reading this, then the story has finally reached you. I apologize for leaving without warning, but my journey was never meant to end in 2006. I am safe, and I am still learning. Sergei. April 25th, 2050.
In the end, Sergei Ponamorenko left more questions than answers. He arrived a stranger from yesterday, carrying with him a camera, a story, and a warning that the universe is far more elaborate than we give it credit for. Some would call him delusional. Others would call him a hoax. But the evidence he left behind, one photograph, one disappearance, and one letter postmarked from a year not yet lived, suggests that the truth is a puzzle whose pieces don't always stay in the same century. If Sergei Ponamorenko was a traveler of time, then his journey reminds us of a simple truth, that the past is never entirely gone, the future is never truly out of reach, and the present is only a brief station on a railway that stretches into the unknown. And somewhere, in an unseen corridor beyond clocks and calendars, a man keeps walking, camera in hand, eyes on horizons we cannot yet imagine, leaving behind only a shudder's echo and the faintest impression that time, like all travelers, sometimes chooses its own path. Thank you for listening to The Man Who Slipped Through Time, produced by Radio on the Lake Theatre in partnership with Baldwin Wallace University. Tonight's cast was
Sophia Wheeler as Valentina,
Dallas Craig as Officer Onopenko and the Intern,
Drew Goldman as Sergio,
Mia Sgambellone as Dr. Kutrikov,
Gioianna DiGiorgio as the narrator, and Calvin James Zanetti as the photography expert. I'd like to thank Joe Tarantowski and Cuyahoga Arts and Culture for their support. Please join us next week for another thrilling performance. Thank you and good night.